Hello and welcome. Today, we're going to explore a really profound concept from our source material, the Tao. It's often called a path, but it's so much more than that. It's really about a journey to discover our true eternal self. So let's get comfortable and dive right in. To get us started, I want you to just take a quiet moment. First, what did you see today? And as you're thinking about that, who came to your mind? And finally, what are you hoping to discover here with us? You see, this simple act of seeing, thinking, and discovering, that's really the heart of the journey we're about to take together. Now, here's an interesting idea from our source material. The opportunity to even seek the Tao isn't something that just happens for everyone. It's actually considered this incredibly precious chance that only comes about if three specific conditions are met. So what are these conditions? Well, first, there's ancestral virtue, basically good deeds and merits built up by your ancestors. Second is having put in the work of cultivation in past lives. And third, you need to have this deep, natural spiritual connection. The whole idea is that the chance you have right now is standing on a foundation that was built long, long before you were even born. And this idea of ancestral virtue is captured perfectly in this quote from Sima Guang. He's basically saying that the best thing you can leave for your family isn't money, which can be lost, or even books, which might go unread. The most powerful inheritance, the one that truly lasts, is unseen virtue. That's the real legacy. Okay, so we've been talking about the opportunity to seek the Tao, but what exactly is it? Well, the source breaks it down into two amazing, interconnected parts. It's both this huge universal principle and, at the same time, a very personal path for each of us. And this is how it works. On one side, you've got Li, which is the principle. Think of it as the operating system of the universe, the natural laws that govern the stars, the earth, and even our own true nature. But then there's Lu, the path. This is your personal roadmap. Just like a plane has a flight path, our spirit has a correct route it needs to follow to get back to its source. So, you might be wondering, okay, that's a cool concept, but why should I seek it? What's the point? To answer that, our source gives us this beautiful, simple analogy that I think you'll really appreciate: the sun and the clouds. Think about it like this. Your true self, your inner goodness, your conscience, that's the sun. It is always there, it's always shining, it's powerful and bright. But then we have our stuff, right? The dark clouds. That's our temper, our greed, our anger, all our little flaws. These clouds don't get rid of the sun, they just block our view of it. And that's the whole key. Seeking the Tao is the process of learning how to part those clouds. It's about gaining the wisdom to clear away all that stuff that's obscuring our true nature, so that our inner sun can finally shine through and light up the path that leads us back home. So if we're clearing away those clouds, what does that actually look like in day-to-day life? What are the real tangible results? Well, the source material lays out 5 specific benefits that come from walking this path. All right, first up, to open wisdom. And we're not just talking about being book smart or clever. This is about a much deeper kind of knowing, an understanding of how things really are. And there's a great little story that illustrates this perfectly. So the story goes, a fighter pilot was showing off, doing all these incredible tricks for a commercial airbus captain. The captain was totally unfazed. He just replied that he just stood up, stretched his legs, and had a nice cup of coffee. Simple things the fighter pilot could never do in his cockpit. See, the lesson here is that real wisdom isn't about being flashy. It's about knowing your job, doing your duty, and respecting that other people have their own important roles to play. Now, the second benefit, this one goes a lot deeper. It gets to the heart of a spiritual question that people have asked for thousands of years. How do we go beyond the endless cycle of life and death? According to the source, when you receive the true teaching from an enlightened master, something shifts. It's like your name gets written down in the books of heaven and erased from the books of the underworld. This is the official start of your journey of cultivation, and the ultimate goal, to finally return to that eternal home and step off the wheel of reincarnation for good. The third benefit is pretty amazing. It suggests that if you're sincere in your practice, you can actually find a kind of spiritual protection, that through cultivation and doing good, you can turn a potentially terrible situation into something manageable or even avoid it altogether. And the source points to a real-world example, the tragic Taiwan air crash in 1998. It was a horrific event where over 200 people died. But right in the middle of all that devastation, a small temple called the Jude Fotang was left almost completely untouched, and every single person inside was safe. This is held up as a powerful example of that protective benefit in action. All right, benefit number 4 is all about empowerment. It's the idea that you can fundamentally change your own destiny. And this isn't some kind of magic trick. It's actually a very logical process of cause and effect that starts right inside you. You can see the steps right here. It's like a chain reaction. First, you make the choice to seek the Tao. That begins to change your mindset. When your mindset shifts, your behavior naturally follows. And when you repeat those new behaviors enough, they become new habits. And what are our lives, really, but a collection of our habits? So by changing your habits, you literally create a new destiny. It's transformation from the inside out. And the 5th and final benefit is really beautiful. It connects your personal spiritual journey back to your family. You see, honoring your parents is a huge virtue. And this suggests that the greatest, most profound way to honor them isn't just taking care of them physically, but by becoming a person of virtue yourself. By walking this path, you bring honor to your entire family, both those here now and your ancestors. To tie all of this together, we're going to end with a powerful story from a completely different part of the world, the 3 final wishes of Alexander the Great. It's a perfect lesson on what truly matters when all is said and done. So as he was dying, this man who had conquered the known world had 3 last requests. First, he said, "Let my doctors carry my coffin," to show the world that even the best medicine can't stop death. Second, "Scatter all my gold and jewels on the road to my tomb," to show that you can't take your wealth with you. And third, "Let my hands hang empty outside the coffin, for everyone to see that we leave this world with nothing, just as we came into it." So Alexander the Great leaves us with this massive, unavoidable question. If we come with nothing and leave with nothing, if we can't take our money, our power, or even our health with us, then what is it that we can take? What has real, lasting value? The source suggests the answer isn't in what we own, but in who we become, the virtue we build, the wisdom we find. And that feels like the perfect thought to leave you with. Thank you so much for joining me today.